Well, my friends, the Spook Fest is over, and the trick-or-treaters are now at home making their lists for a jolly old man in December. So now it's time to talk about the games I've been playing in October and what I think of them. Now remember, these are my opinions, and sometimes there might be some spoilers along the way. So here are the games that I've been playing and their designated times in this video. Welcome to the HUD everyone, I'm Zacharoni, and today I'll be going through some of the games I've been playing in October 2018. So without further ado, please be seated, and here comes your second helpings. Now I'm not a big fan of horror, but since it was October, I thought I might check out a survival horror game for my leftovers, so I chose Amnesia: The Dark Descent as my first horror title on this channel, and it definitely lives up to its reputation for being one of the scariest games I have ever played. When I first started this game, it recommends that I played the game with headphones and the lights off, adding a more atmospheric tension to the experience, and it definitely works that way. From random doors opening unexpectedly, to the sound of the monster that haunts the hallway, The Dark Descent had me jumping out of my chair throughout the game. In fact, I had to turn off my lantern every time I hear him coming around the corner. Sometimes I succeed, and other times I failed. But I'll never forget the invisible monster that looms in a flooded area every time I stand in the water. As for the story, it followed a chap named Daniel who has given himself amnesia and messaged himself to take down Alexander. And no, not that Alexander. He's too pointless for this game, really. At first, I was wondering why he would do that, but as I keep playing, I discovered his reasoning through flashbacks and found out the truth about Alexander, which is quite sinister, really. Despite having a few frustrating puzzles that forced me to check everywhere, Amnesia has been a scary experience I won't be forgetting for a long time. Until the next one I'll play next year. The only Mega Man games I have played are 1, 2, and 3 for the Wii U Virtual Console, so there might have been some features in the other games that I would experience for the first time in this game, like the Mega Buster, which really comes in handy. However, after playing this to the end, there is nothing new or exciting about this game. It's just a Mega Man game with 3D graphics, and that's what it is really. Now, I'm not a big fan of this series, but I understand why the true fans like these games, not only for its character designs, but also for its replay value, where you need to find the right power-up that is effective against the right boss. But this is 2018, and back in the day, the NES didn't have a lot of RAM for more content, and my total time was 3 hours when I beaten this game on casual difficulty. So maybe they should have expanded the main game a bit more really, like adding in some more Robot Masters from past games. Now I know there is a challenge mode to do after the main game, but I'm not the kind of person who plays the same game and tried to prove that I'm the Goku of it. I play games just to see them to the end and feel like I accomplished something. But did I enjoy the game? Well, the controls plays just like the other titles, switching power-ups is easier instead of pausing the game, and the double gear system is an interesting idea, but I really didn't find anything special about this game. It's just a Mega Man game with 3D graphics. So overall, a brave effort for Capcom to bring this back from the dead, but I think they should have taken a page from Doom or Breath of the Wild really. After playing Mega Man 11 and Amnesia, I want to play something less difficult but charming to look at, and so I decided to check out Astrobot Rescue Mission for the PS4. But first, I had to get a VR headset that costs £230 to play it, so yes, this is actually the first VR game I have ever played. Anyway, Astrobot Rescue Mission is an enjoyable 3D platformer that utilizes the VR in creative ways, like looking at a target so that the captain can throw a beach ball at it, and I had to lean around the corner so that he can enter a hidden area. Though the game was not that difficult, with its unlimited lives and forgiving checkpoints, the only challenge I had were the bosses, that are intimidating to look at, but they are creative, like an octopus that sprays lava out of his mouth, and a mechanical shark that fires squids at me. Oh, and while we are seeing the shark boss, take a look at the ocean. The water looks so real, I can literally swim in it. Now, admittedly, the information from my toppings video for this game was very little, but sometimes you just really need to know a little to enjoy a game. An Astrobot rescue mission is an experience I didn't see coming. So in conclusion, it controls well, it made great use of the VR, and it has got some of the most realistic water I have ever seen. Now let's just hope we see more of Captain Astro in the future. I was making my decision on the next game to play for Halloween, but I checked my past leftovers and all of them was about story than gameplay. Except for Ori, of course. So I decided to pick a game that is focused on gameplay but still represent the tone of Halloween, and thus I chose The Dishwasher Vampire Smile, a 2D hack and slash game presented in black and white with red all over, and I like it. The controls are tight, the music is hardcore heavy metal, and the enemy design are pretty creative, like an undead shark with robot legs, or a mechanical scarecrow with a chainsaw arm. As for the main characters, the prisoner and the dishwasher, while are really cool to look at, they both play differently. But I prefer the dishwasher, the more fun character to play as, because hit combos are easy to pull off. Even if the controls are tight, the game is still challenging at the normal difficulty. But luckily, I was patient at this, and I managed to memorize the attack patterns of the enemies and bosses. So overall, I like Vampire Smile. It's fun, rewarding, and a blast to play, all backed up by our epic heavy metal soundtrack that matches the tone and pacing. Well, that's all the games I've been playing in October. I hope you appreciate my opinions, and if you like what you see, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. But until then, I'm Zacharoni. Enjoy your pizza, and I'll see you next time.